Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Losers with a Dream. This is Lisa Lampanelli, also known as Paul McCartney. Listen to the episode and see why I'm Paul. There's no John Lennon. Guess who's Ringo? Yeah, Nick. We discuss a topic that George Harrison, a.k.a. Bo, brought to us this week, a topic I had no idea existed, which is weird and rare because I usually know everything, called emotional terrorism. It is fascinating. I learned a lot from Bo, and I'm not too proud to say that I actually was a beginner in this topic, and he led the way. I kind of can't let him do that again, though, because he'll get a bigger head than that already gigantic jukebox head size fucking thing he's got. Anyway, I love you all. You're going to love this episode. You'll learn something if I did. Live, laugh, Lisa, love it. Losers with a Dream. Hey, you all know what time it is. It's Lisa Lampanelli, and it's time for the Losers with a Dream featuring me. And yeah, two other guys, Nick and Bo. I mean, nobody cares. I mean, I'm the star. Are you kidding me? They'd be nothing without me. Losers with a Dream. You're listening, so who's the actual loser? Now sit back and enjoy Losers with the Dream. Or don't enjoy it. Or don't even sit down. Shut up, burn calories.
Hello, welcome to the Losers with a Dream podcast. We are losers, and we have big dreams, man.
I had a dream about you, baby. It's gonna come through. You don't know that song?
No.
Everything's Coming Up Roses from Gypsy?
No,
Why
Gypsy.
It's a musical on the
Yeah,
Broadway.
we know a lot of musicals, Bo and
Why
I.
I know he
is it-
sounds gay, but he isn't.
Why
Footloose, Grease,
do
that's
I
it.
have a podcast with two straighties? You guys don't get my references, and you don't get me.
Anyway, go to
Yeah,
iTunes.
please do. Yeah, really subscribe, like.
Subscribe,
Rate.
like, go to iTunes, give us a 5-star review. We really appreciate that. You could follow us on Spotify, the YouTubes if you like to see us, which why wouldn't you?
True.
And if you want to see more of us, you could go to Losers with a Dream on TikTok.
TikTok.
We're on there, ripping it. And
Ripping it up.
what
And
else are we
look,
doing?
I'm done for the day. I'm done. The podcast is over. Just fucking enjoy the fact that we even talked to you.
Exactly. We appreciate all of our listeners, and we hope this is a good day for you.
I hope it's not. I hope this brings up feelings. I hope we emotionally hold you hostage. Hint, hint, what we're talking about later. And I just know, I honestly am just super grateful to be here. Does that sound familiar, Bo?
Yeah.
I know. Everybody in your
worst.
fucking meetings is grateful to be there because they're all grateful not to be shitting in a freezer and not drunk on the side of a road.
Yeah, which
And
were fun parts of their life.
it really was. This
best
time,
parts.
let me ask you this. I know we're recording a little in advance because of the holidays, but since this is going to come around the holiday season, is it weirder at this time of year for people in your position, which is former addicts or current addicts?
Weirder? I don't know. I think when it gets around like Christmas, whatever, you show up. For the most part, the holidays are about a nice cocktail, right? It's
Yes.
about a nice glass of scotch and a cheesecake. You know what I mean?
Both at the same
Even the way
time.
you describe it makes it,
It
sound
is.
good.
It is.
It
It's
almost sounded
fantastic.
sexy, but if it came out of
that
Bo's
was
mouth,
the
it's
sexiest
not.
thing you've ever said,
Yeah.
dude.
No, and it's about a cigarette outside with a cousin you
I
hate.
do like that.
You know what I mean? Like it's
It's like Aunt Gertrude's being a real clam.
She is, though.
like
She
it's
is. We hate her.
It's not about sitting there like connecting because nobody's connecting. Nobody wants to. It's Christmas. Let's open some gifts, drink too much, and get out of there.
Right.
Right. So when I'm in those situations, I usually am like, all right, I got about 2 hours. I'm gonna stuff some food down, and then I'm going in the TV room. I'm plugging something on. And that's it.
Right.
Or I'll go, I like the younger cousins, like the little ones. You mess with them. You have a nice little time. You get them to chase the cat or whatever. You have a nice time.
That sounds like a sexual game you have
You give
going.
a-
Chase the cat.
You give him a knife. You have him chase the dog around.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. It's good.
Yeah, you mess with the kid. I just like making faces at kids, though. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I
it's fun.
was going to say, I'm so happy we did that episode on fear of intimacy and seeing how he's bringing people closer every day. Glad you've learned a lot in that week since we talked about it.
Yes, I have.
man.
Oh my
You
God, look at
have.
me.
You're
Growth-
learning. You are
Growth
growing.
squared.
Cubed. All right. What's the first thing we're doing, Nick? Because I have an agenda, and you're not going to like
We are
it.
not. Oh boy, do you? We are not doing the mental health check-in this
I am.
week.
I'm derailing this whole fucking show. Because
derails
guess
everything.
what?
Listen, Nick.
No, and I'll tell
We
you.
have these meetings
Shut
where
up,
we
both
talk
of you.
about it.
You both will fucking listen to me, and you will hear why I'm saying this. I'm taking over. Go ahead, Nick. Pretend we're going to talk about
Bo
what you think.
and I, because we're team players, are gonna do the meathead moment, bringing back an old one. Because yes,
It's a classic.
we are
It's a
these
classic.
straight guys with feelings that we're a little enlightened and we talk about stuff, but we're still idiots.
You really are.
Meatheads at
Yeah.
heart. We are still men. We eat steak and we growl. We howl at the moon.
Play golf.
Okay, that
I
is
don't play
not
golf.
straight.
I play golf
That-
Golf sucks.
every now and then.
Well, I am going to break with that tradition, and I am going to do a mental health check-in
All
for
right,
those
let
of
her
you
do
who
it. Let
care
her do it.
about your mental health. But you guys go first. 'cause-
Women first,
And also, the
whatever.
fact is, you have meathead moments. I am emotionally perfect, so I never do the wrong thing. So
you going
guys,
first?
No, you guys go,
Liar.
please.
Oh.
Ladies first. Go ahead, Bo.
Bo,
Okay,
lead it, baby.
So I had a meathead moment this recent weekend. I was in New York doing my spots, and as I do, and I was getting into the city, and they were doing construction on McDougal Street, which many people know is where there's a lot of comedy clubs. So my area where I usually park, I could not park.
Uh-oh.
So I had to, find another garage. So I went and found another garage, and it's getting late. It's about 8:30, but it's it's the winter, so the sun's down. It's very dark, and I'm right around Washington Square Park, and I decide, instead of going around the safe and well lit area,
no.
I decide I'll just cut through the park.
Okay,
No big
come
deal.
on.
Yep, and it was a really, really bad move. It was really, really dumb. I forgot about New York. I forgot about where I was.
Yes.
And
Were you raped?
I got 20 yards into the park.
Nice to be wanted.
Can't rape the willing, right?
Oh, go ahead.
So I got about 20 yards into the park, and I was like, oh boy, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
There was a crew of men who came up to me, and they hit you with the, hey man, you know what time it is? Or you know what time is
Wait,
it?
let me ask you. I lived in New York on and off for 40 years, and no one ever asked me what time it is.
Yeah.
Was that because they didn't need the time, or I was just too
Did
unattractive?
you say hammer time and shit?
That would be cute.
Well, if you-
Like, is that a signal like, hey, I'm going to rob you now?
Yes, yeah. So if you're in New York and a random person comes up to you on the street and they ask you for the time, do not take out your phone or do
No.
not flash a nice watch because you are about to be robbed.
So
right?
they ask the time in order to see the goods, to see if you have a watch.
Yes, it gets you to slow down.
Oh, jeez.
It gets you to slow down. It gets you to take out something valuable, right? So they can rob you. Now,
Did they get your Timex?
it'd been funny if this was just like
They
a.
got both step counter.
This was just like a.
Did they get your
His
pedometer?
Fitbit.
Your pedometer?
Fitbit.
Did they get your Hello Kitty wristwatch?
No, but I
Dude,
I felt the danger. I saw the dude get too close, and then I
Kissed,
saw
and
two guys come up on the rear, and I was like,
Been there.
all right. And I was like, all right, man, like this is not good. So the second he asked me and he started to get close to me, I took off running, and that's the move, by the way. If you're ever starting to feel like you're gonna get approached and
Right.
robbed in New York, you move. You have to just run. Don't try and fight. You're gonna lose.
so basically you're saying if you're in a wheelchair, you're fucked.
pretty much, yeah.
Unless you're one of those fuckers who's in the marathon, New York City Marathon, with your wheelchair, who, by the way, they beat like people with legs all the time.
Yeah, well, they beat me, I'm sure.
Guaranteed. So, did you think it's a coincidence? That was what night? Like a Friday night?
Friday night.
Did you hear that there was an earthquake in Washington Square? Coincidence? I think not. Thunder thighs.
Oh my God,
Sorry,
yeah.
Construction is
Bo.
underway
I
at Washington Square Park today.
I promised myself I wouldn't get sucked into
Listen,
making
it's
fun
the
of
only thing
you.
that makes this show great.
I know. I'm sorry. It was my fear of intimacy because I got so scared for your life that I don't want to lose you.
Yeah, well, I
That's
had some-
called acting.
I had some friends that used to live on the street, and I talked to them the morning after. I said, "Hey, dude, this is what happened." They were like, "Dude, it's so smart that you ran."
Yeah.
because they used to rob people, and they go, "When we do that, if somebody slows down, they're done." Right? Like,
But
so
why
you gotta-
didn't they chase you?
I think they, I don't know. I think sometimes it's like, well, is it really worth it? There's gonna be another person walking. It's New
That's
York.
true.
And then I think I'm lucky in that I'm a larger man.
Right.
So they're like the risk reward on that is probably lower. If I was a younger female that was more vulnerable,
Yeah.
I don't know that running would have even made a difference. So I meathead moment. I didn't think about my surroundings, and I made a mistake. And those are the mistakes you can make where you can get. I knew comics that have gotten jumped and really beat up and have.
I mean,
real
comics,
problems.
if anyone should get beat up, it's
true.
comics.
It's true.
I really enjoy when
Useless.
comics die. It's very fun for me because they're all very negative and they're taking your stage time. So I'm
Yeah.
very protective of you guys. I don't want them taking your stage time. But also, it's a bit victim blamey of you to say that was your meathead moment because you may have almost been a victim. Why would we blame you for just walking through a park? Yeah, I get we have to be aware, but isn't it sort of
I think
on
you
them?
gotta know. You gotta know where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, especially in those areas of New York City, it's like I have to be smart and know where I can go that's safe and where I can go that's not safe.
So you think
And running through the
if a
park like
cop
that.
heard about it, he'd be like, "Dude, what are you
Yeah.
kidding me? What are you
Yeah.
stupid?"
I was one time. I was on a bunch of drugs, and I was walking through Bridgeport I was going the wrong way through Bridgeport because I was at a music festival, and I just kind of moved. I was just going, and this cop came up to me, stopped me, he goes, "Hey, man, if you go 2 more blocks, you need a knife."
my
And he goes,
God.
"Do you have a knife?" And I was like wearing a tie-dye shirt. I was like, "No, dude, I don't have a knife." You know what I mean? He's like, "Then you should probably go that way and back to where you just came
Wow.
from and wait it out." And I was like, "All right." But those are the things. It's like, if I went it's kind of my fault.
I guess
if I
so.
wander into the hood, it's my fault.
All right.
I'm not supposed to be there.
Well, trigger warning to anyone who just heard that.
What?
If victim blaming and rape culture. JK. Okay, Nick, what about you? Were you a meathead? I can't imagine because you're so perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that's it for our meathead moment.
Bo's an idiot.
No, I
You're
had a
not.
small one. So today, or at work, we had we do a Secret Santa thing.
Oh, cute.
Right?
I
we do
love
like a
that.
little, someone suggested a potluck, so people
Okay.
made dishes.
Did they
and
make
brought 'em in.
tabbouleh and
Oh!
healthy things? Did you work at gay
No,
ass
it-
Equinox?
it was
Kale
a-
salads.
No,
Yeah.
it was tasty.
Couscous.
No, it was good. A lot of people made some good shit. But anyway,
Hummus.
so they were like potluck, and usually we've never done this before, and I'm like, ugh, you got to make something. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Uh-oh.
I go, fuck this. I'm not making shit.
Yeah.
I go to Stop and Shop and just buy Christmas cookies. Now
Good.
people brought them, put them down. I go, here you go. People were like my roommate who I live with, you guys know Matt, he's part Thai. He made like fried rice, which was phenomenal. Another girl at our work, she's Mexican. She made like empanadas, like woke up early and made them for us. And I was like, this is so
Whoa.
good.
Wow.
So the girl baked. I'm fucking the asshole who's like, here you go.
What'd you bring?
These are Christmas shapes.
Yeah.
Right?
So
From
were
Stop
they,
and Shop.
were they literally the horrible sort of sugar cookies with
Yes,
sprinkles? Oh,
I love them though. Dude, those cupcake type cookies, they're like the frosting on top, but they're
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But it is really low life.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I like, that you committed to it and you didn't put them on a plate with saran wrap around them,
Yeah.
trying to pass them
Oh.
off as you baking.
Which is
Because
a good
let me
move.
tell you, there's always
move.
that guy.
No one wouldn't believe that anyway.
Yeah, but there's some people who try to pull that and you're just like, no.
I always bring just like a big thing of seltzer. That's always my move. Bring like a bunch of cans.
There was a meme out over Thanksgiving where they said, if you're the person they say bring rolls or soda, they know you're a shitty cook. So
I
basically,
can't cook anything,
I'm not a good cook. My sister even volunteered. She goes, I know you're having the brunch for Christmas. We'll bring all the food.
Yeah.
They know I host.
Yeah.
I enjoy having them over. Then they could sit there. They have to bring the food.
Just get it
It's
catered,
either that
you know?
or catered. That's what I used to do all the time.
That's
But now
what
that I'm not balling as much, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
man, bring
I'm
the
not
food.
balling
Bring
as
a
much.
quiche, motherfucker. I don't know. Nick, I'm not so down on you for that one. That's not a
No,
terrible
I know
one.
it's not terrible, but I
Did
just
they
felt
laugh
like
at it? And did
no.
you?
The thing was, as I was like, ugh, people are gonna like. I was gonna at least, but this week just got too busy. I was gonna at least go to like an Italian like bakery and get like all the good shit, like cannolis, get like real good shit. And I was like, I don't have time, so I just did that. And I remember thinking all day, like, oh, this is gonna suck. And I opened up the cookies, and like 5 people were like, "Those are my favorite,
See?
dude." And I
See?
was like, "It's simple. It's great.
Get
like
some
who
ring
cares?"
dings.
Oh
Throw
my
'em at
God!
the-
Ho-hos, funny
good.
bones,
ring
snowballs, yodels, Yankee Doodles, anything that's Drake's
Those are
or
all
Hostess
sex
is the
positions.
best. You did do a Yankee Doodle over the weekend, from what I heard.
One day.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, I don't
Mom.
think your meathead moments were terrible. I think you're both victim blaming
Let's
yourselves.
hear your mental health check-in,
Well, I just
since
want
you're like
everybody
so
to-
different and
Well,
contrarian.
no. Well, the reason I feel like this person,
Adversarial.
and explain quickly that for our mental health, we do not do scale of 1 to
We
10.
do not do scale 1 to 10
do
for
some
mental health. We do
objects,
a
person, or pop culture
Right, it's creative.
phenomenon
It's in depth.
that
We're
we are
cute.
like. Well, I'll give you a little history, and you'll realize then why I did shift to mental health this time. Over the weekend, I watched the most fascinating documentary. It was the Beatles 8-hour documentary on Apple TV. No. It's on Disney Plus, and I never had Disney Plus because I don't need that fucking fake Marvel shit. I don't need Snow White hopping around with the dwarves. She probably fucked them all. Anyway, she was a kind of a whore.
it's
Snow
true.
White, my left nut.
True.
So I don't need this Disney. I don't have children. I don't like Mandalorian. I don't even know what that is. What's Loki? I don't give a fuck.
I don't know.
Anyway, but this Beatles thing I'm hearing is great. I'm not even a big Beatles fan, so I'm watching it. And I am fucking, of course, very emotionally moved by it. It was really beautiful. But the thing that came out was I was like, oh my God, our fucking podcast crew is literally, way down the level, though. The Beatles, for sure.
Yeah.
We have Ringo, who is basically Nick. Funny, big heart, keeps everything light, totally great guy. Everybody's happy to have in the
Right,
room.
right.
We have George Harrison, who is, of course, Bo, always distracting us with his Hare Krishna fucking bullshit meeting stuff. All his fucking, I want to play my own songs and have my own ideas. I'm going to go and branch out and I'm going to have a fucking meeting over this place, that place. I'm going to play a sitar. That's you, Bo!
I'm Lennon
You're
and you know it.
fucking, fuck you! And of course, there is
You're
no
Yoko.
There is no Lennon in this group. I had to switch it up because I am definitely on the organizational level Paul McCartney. If you watch this fucking documentary, poor McCartney is struggling to get these idiots doing a deadline, doing an actual good album, not canoodling around playing Chuck Berry knockoffs the whole time.
And hee-haw with the fuck
Fuck
around gang.
gang. And he is literally, he doesn't explode on camera. But is clearly frustrated with the fact that John and those guys cannot focus. And poor Ringo, like Nick, is in the background just keeping the beat going. Yeah, I'll keep the gay jokes going. So I feel like Paul McCartney, not from the genius level, but the fact that I got to wrangle you two fucking nutcases. And if there was, but the worst part about it, Nick, and I can talk to you bluntly about Bo.
Yeah.
Bo thinks he's Lennon. And I
Oh,
go to myself
yeah.
like this. Wait, shut up, Bo.
that's what I am.
Cut off his mic. Here's how I feel. I feel like, as if Rick can control Bo, I feel like here I am. If I had a struggle with a Lennon, maybe I wouldn't be as frustrated. But I got to struggle with Harrison with the fucking Hare Krishnas.
Number 2 in the tri-state.
Yeah. He means he's a big dump, a number 2.
Yeah.
So I feel like Paul McCartney, but I do feel like, though, even after I express that, I feel like we are clicking along, especially after the live shows. I think we're all more on the same page, and I don't feel like I'm wrangling the fuck around gang. That's what I'm trying to say, but you're still no Lennon. Don't fucking forget it.
Hands
And I'm
in,
not
guys.
touching you ever.
I'm going to guess do hands in once.
Okay. I don't know what we're supposed to
you
do.
gotta-
It's gross. Both
Losers with a
yeah, that's what we do.
Dream.
Oh, God, we're bad. So, what are we talking about today? Give a little
Today,
teaser.
Our top. You want me to give him a
Go
teaser?
ahead. No, do it
Hold
like
my
Ringo.
mic.
No, do it like Ringo would
What?
in your British
I don't know what he
accent.
sounds like.
I
But
think
today we're going to talk about not terrorism, but emotional terrorism.
Oh, right.
Taking someone hostage with your fucking feelings.
Right there, we done.
Just say like fucking Harrison. Here, I'll say, Nick, could you please
Hey.
get to it quickly? Could you please get it? We got a deadline. Could you really get to it?
Yeah, no, I can do it.
Bum, bum,
Paul, I feel like you don't understand how dope everything is and how smart we are.
Go fucking say Bangladesh, you fucking hippie. Oops, I got out of character, god damn it.
You blew it.
So we're talking about what?
Emotional terrorism or holding someone hostage with your feelings.
Which is weird that this is a cool topic. I'd never heard of this phrase.
Bo brought it up.
to the table, which is why I don't hate him as much as I used to. Thank you, George Harrison.
Visionary, Lennon, visionary.
I hate him so
Bo
much right now.
McDowell, John Lennon.
Me and Nick
McDowell.
will be back. Bo's fired.
And Bo will be
Lennon.
shot outside of his apartment building, just like Lennon.
Oh, God.
Bye.
It'll be tragic.
We'll be back.
Hey everybody, Lisa Lampanelli here from Losers with a Dream. As you know, me, Bo, and Nick are losers. We have really big dreams, and one of the people who help us reach our dreams is the good folks at Royal Fox Studio. They specialize in producing podcasts, as you can hear, and they can get your show sounding amazing like ours. I mean, seriously, I sound fucking great. Make sure to check them out at Royal Fox Studio on Instagram and on all social media, where you'll be able to see a list of all the great shows they produce, including the best one ever, Losers with a Mother Effin' Dream. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome back to the Loser with a Dream podcast. We are losers, and man, do we have some dreams.
Yeah, we do.
We've lost our fear of intimacy, clearly,
It's true.
from the earlier week. We're real tight.
It's super tight.
I'm going to lick your fucking eyeball, dude.
That's weird, dude. Don't do that.
Whatever, I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't think it's sanitary. Anyways, we're going to get into our topic of the day. Emotional and bioterrorism. No, emotional terrorism and holding people hostage with your feelings. Bo is the reason why we came to this topic, and it's kind of a funny story.
Yes.
Why, which I can't wait to hear again. I love you, Bo. Tell them how we got to this,
So
baby.
I was at a business meeting for one of my top secret groups, and I was not pleased to be there. I had just had about enough of this day, and we were like a few hours into it, and I just started having like loud sighs. Like I'd be like, and just like, and
like when you come.
yeah, and like looking around, just like ugh, and like like letting people know around me that I was sitting with that like I was having a horrible time and did not want to be there. And my good friend, looks over at me and he goes, "Yo, how long are you gonna hold us hostage with your fucking bullshit?" and I looked at him. I went, "Oh!" I started laughing because I knew he was right. And then he was like, "We're gonna have to deal with your shit, you emotional terrorist fuck." And I was like, "Yep." And it reminded me of one of my favorite topics, ideas, phrases: the emotional terrorist. Somebody who basically holds you hostage with their emotions until you have to feel them too. So this is a great topic because sometimes we do this without thinking about it. Women love to do it. This is their favorite thing in the world.
Lisa's shaking her head. And she's got a knife in her hand
Yeah.
off camera.
But honestly,
She's like, oh, yeah?
this is something that I did not know that I did. It's something that is very ingrained in children. Most children are emotional terrorists, right? Like they wake up, they go, "Ah!" until they get what the fuck they want.
I thought that was you, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Actor, Lennon. And
oh God.
and so, you know, I was thinking about this and I was going like, yep, I definitely do this. It's really when I just feel like I need to be heard, or like I'm sitting through something I don't want to sit through, or like why isn't anyone listening to me? It's a very selfish act is the point of it. Yeah, it's a very like dirty diaper. Like
boy.
listen to me, listen to my feelings, and make everybody who's sitting here has to listen to them and understand them and then make me feel better, right? It's literally crying out for mommy. That's what it is. And sometimes we do it and we don't want to do it. We don't realize we're doing it until somebody points it out, and then we feel like I felt extremely ashamed when he pointed it out. I laughed, but that was to cover up the real feeling inside, which was of deep shame for the fact that I was acting like a literal baby. You know what I mean? So then I was like, oh shit, man, that's a really interesting topic to talk to the Losers with the Dream team about. Because it's, you know, it is interesting, and we find ourselves in different positions. I have found myself in many positions where I didn't feel like I could change my situation, so I just cried. And not cried in like a I'm feeling my feelings way, but cried in like a listen to me, wah, 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 way.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I was trying to think of some things of like when I've done this, and it's maybe been, I don't know, not a lot really. I always deal with everything. I think it's just growing up an only child. You just are like, no, I'm not going to bother anybody. I'm going to turn this in on me. You replay shit in your head all the time until like it's finally right or you feel okay. Like you just keep replaying scenarios. So I never really had people to lean on like that. So I always kind of kept that shit to myself. But it did happen to me with other people in my life. So I've had it happen. I think because I had it happen to me so young that I was like, I'm never doing this to anybody because it caused so much anger and turmoil and whatever. So I'll tell you, my grandmother, the notes I have down here is two people, my grandmother and my stepmother, who I had for a little bit. Most people don't know I had a stepmother. She was only in my life for about 3 years.
Yeah.
But it literally, dude, I can remember every day after school, I remember waiting after school, and this may be why I'm an anxious guy.
Yeah.
Thinking, what's it going to be today?
Yeah.
What is she going to be feeling, or what's happened, or what is she going to complain to me? I'm 13 about my dad.
Right.
Hey, I don't need to know this.
Yeah.
You're an adult. Talk to him.
Yep. Yep.
You fucking idiot lady. Anyway.
Dumb clam.
You clam. We do not
Dumbclam.com.
like you. I would stab her if I saw her. But but every day I remember thinking like it was such a horrible feeling. Like that's why I always stayed at school so long. I'd be in school, not because I was good at it, but because social aspect. Football after lifting.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna
hang
stay
by the lockers.
Yeah, dude, just stay. I'm staying here.
Let 'em know.
I'm trying to avoid the pickup as much as possible. Did you have a certain spot where like the seniors chilled?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, sick, dude. We had like a window everyone sat.
dope.
Anyway, did you just wear your jersey?
So, yeah. What's up?
Tie-dyed.
I don't know if you saw that tackle the other week.
Oh my god.
Pretty crazy.
All right, stop.
Got
So shut up. Thank you. So, but every day it was like, oh god, what's this gonna be with this lady?
Right.
And it was a terrible thing. And then later in life, it got to be like that kind of with my grandmother.
Right.
Every time the phone rang, I was like, what's she upset about today from 5 years ago? That she's gonna.
Yeah, but it was the same woman, right, that was picking you up, and then
what?
'cause you're talking about your grandmother in both scenarios. Here.
No, my stepmother.
Oh, stepmother. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Sorry.
And then I was talking about
I
my
forget.
grandmother also. Not with that. It was I said later in life. My grandmother was the one who kind of took that role over. Once my stepmom left, it was all good. I actually had a party that night. It was a dope time. But just I remember having that happen to me young, and I was like, I'm never doing this to anybody. So if anything, I've been afraid to reach out to people and bother anyone with anything. You know what I mean? It's been almost like a which I've probably paid for in a little bit, and why it's taken me so long to open up with certain people, even my close friends.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, well, I don't relate to that because I'm extraordinarily selfish.
You are?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. So if I'm not having a good time, I do not like other people to enjoy a time at all.
I know your type.
Yeah. So this is, how I was an amazing emotional terrorist when I had to be the DD, the designated driver, as it is. I was such a bad, because now I am driving people around. They're supposed to be having fun, and they're supposed to be, partying, whatever. And I remember just being like, nope, I don't get to drink. I don't get to have fun. Nobody's having fun. You know what I mean? And I was the worst. You know what I mean? Like, I just constantly be kind of complaining, being like, all right, so when are we going to get home? Like, you don't need that. You don't need another drink, Bobby.
Oh, you were that
know what I mean?
guy.
Like, come on,
you were that dude.
get in the car. Yeah, it was fun. You know what I mean? Like, just if it wasn't centered around me having fun, nobody else can have fun.
Right.
And that's just the baby that I was, and that I kind of still am. I definitely am.
You're a
still
huge
like
baby.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of women that I've dated have employed their emotional terrorism tactics on me. Right. Like I remember I took a girl to the Bahamas, and I remember like first day she was just like I'm not like having like we need to talk about stuff, and she just like ruined the trip at every moment when it was supposed to be a nice moment. You know what I mean? Like just like there always had to be something going on. There was always a problem, and she made it everybody's problem. It's a good moniker to be like, my problem is not other people's problems, right? Like my shit should not be their shit now, right? Like I need to control my emotions to the point where I'm not going to hold anyone hostage with what I'm feeling, because what you're feeling can pass. And if you put out good, then generally people are going to have a good time. I love people who are like just ready to go, just happy people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people who go out of their way to bring a group down when it's not necessary is the fucking worst.
The worst. The worst.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm here to take you down. But another example I have, this isn't even about emotional terror. This is more so like holding someone hostage. I used to do this in work meetings. It's more of a funny, like being fun, like wanting the attention on you maybe too much.
Yeah,
right?
trying to be a comedian.
Trying to be, not even just, just trying to have fun at these work meetings. So like
try to do well on stage first. Huh?
Oh my God. Dude, he keeps saying he's Lennon, and it's just getting worse by the minute. This Beatles thing.
I don't know, dude. Kind of makes sense when you think about it.
I can't, dude. But at work, I work at a gym. It is, it is a corporate structure, but still it's a gym, right? So we have fun. There's monthly meetings and stuff. But I can't tell you how many times my general manager, shout out Anthony Chikese, I love you very much. He will come up to me. He's from the Bronx, and he'll just come up to me, and he'll be like, he'll pull me aside. He goes, "Come here for a second." He goes, "HR's here today. Okay?
Yeah.
You can't call anyone gay. You can't boo anybody. None of that.
Booing somebody is my
Booing's
favorite.
the best, because in our monthly meetings, I do like who did the most sessions this month, like 1, 2, 3, the top 5, and who made goals, whatever. So like there was this one trainer who was a little older and like wasn't the best trainer, but like he's been there for like 20 years, so he had this full book of people, and he would win number 1 every month.
Yeah.
Every time they'd be like, so and so did the most sessions. I would just go boo. And my GM would be like, "Can you fucking not?" And he would laugh. He goes, "I can't be laughing in front of these people." He goes, "It's funny, but we can't do it." And then there was another girl who was so hot, looked like she was built in a lab, and she would do well as well, right? She was a beautiful girl, but she always showed up late to the meeting. She always thought she was better than everybody. So as soon as she walked in, I'd be like, were you just taking a shit? like stuff like that. It's like, why do you always say I'm pooping?
You're holding people hostage with your hacky comedy. Is that what you're saying?
Kind of like you did to come in second.
Well,
remember that?
Anyways. 200 or... Tri-state.
There were weight classes, right?
Comedy weight classes.
Comedy weight classes.
Would be funny.
That would be really funny. Anyway, let's think of that sketch idea.
Good idea.
Put it in the bank. Might be on Patreon soon. Check it out. Subscribe. But yeah, like doing stuff like that. Like, and then there was like some times at Equinox as well. There are there's something called EFTI, which is basically they put you through like a training. You're doing a training, you're learning shit, whatever. It's like almost like a classroom setting. And I'd always fuck around during those, right? And then it took like my boss and a few of my other managers to be like, "Hey, man,
yeah,
he goes, whether you like it or not, he goes, you're one of our more senior trainers here, and you have a lot of experience, and some of these guys look up to you, so you can't just keep yelling out,
Right.
fucking, making
Yeah.
sex jokes about the femur, or like,
Right.
oh, I pulled his groin, fucking, I bet.
Yeah.
And then make that noise and do that. And I was like, no, you're right. So I've slowed down with that a little bit, but that's been my experience with.
Yeah, so you're really talking
Emotional.
about like terrorism in the form of just like
Attention seeking.
yeah,
more so.
attention-seeking behavior,
Yeah.
trying to get the laugh, which of course I can relate to. I mean, I think that,
I would hope so. Yeah.
through, any school.
But dude, you were like that when you had your job, when it was right. In
Oh my
person.
God,
How many
that
times
was a
HR
nightmare.
they'd be like, "Hey, man."
Yeah, they're like, you shouldn't have said "Who's your daddy" to one of the new members. That was a little weird. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Dude, I remember at Equinox. This is not even a joke. They hired like a trainer. It was a man, gay man.
Yeah.
They pre-warned me as
Yeah.
they hired him that day. They brought me in the office. They go, listen, and I was like, am I being fired? And they're like, we just hired a trainer. And I was like, great. And they're
Yeah.
like, he's a gay man. You can't tell the other male trainers that you in front of him. You can't say, I'm going to suck you off in the locker room. Okay, to your friends. You can't do it.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
I also got in trouble once for this is ridiculous. It was me and a few trainers went to lunch. We got a bunch of shit, right?
Yeah.
And it was like we got the gayest lunch you could have got. It was like someone got granola, someone got a salad, someone got kombucha.
Yeah.
And as we were walking into the gym, we were talking about that. And as we were walking to the gym, I go, man, fucking white boys are us over here. I go, look at this stupid lunch. Lady overheard that and
Yeah.
complained and thought I was making a racial comment. Like it was like a white supremacy thing. And I was like, no, we just have granola and kombucha. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, I've learned to just shut my mouth
Yeah.
when it comes to certain things and just, you got to be aware of that stuff.
Right. But emotional terrorism, to get on track here.
I fucking lied. It's okay. It was fun.
Yeah. No, it's great. Fake crying, fantastic. Emotional
Have
terrorism.
you done a fake cry?
No, I haven't, but I've seen women
I've
do
never
it to
done
me
I've
multiple
never done
times.
a fake cry.
I've watched it happen.
I've watched it happen.
To the point where you want to be like, is this a real cry? Are you really upset?
And then you
'Cause
punch her just to choose. Like, you really crying?
Yeah.
And you hit her.
Because you're like, you start to not trust. Like, the problem with being an emotional terrorist is people start
Boy
to.
who cried wolf. Person who cried wolf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Way to go. You got there.
Gold star.
Yeah.
Dude, don't touch my nips,
I
dude.
know, I
Don't
like
start
them.
the engine unless you can take me for a ride around the track, baby.
I want to take a test drive.
You bought the whole thing, baby. Wait, test this shit.
We got a mortgage
We got
together.
a 3-year warranty on this motherfucker. All right, we're losing it.
So yeah, sorry. So yeah, but the fake crying. I mean, I've seen Lisa do that to us before.
Yeah, you did that one time. It was good. She sold it, and she was proud of herself. At the diner.
We're all sitting in the diner.
We were like, oh
Yeah.
no. And then she was like, got you fuckers.
She hit us with like an amazing fake cry.
She was pretty
Yeah.
good, right?
No,
Pretty
I can
good.
always tell. But even since then, like, not that, especially if we're talking about something I know that obviously she's gonna cry.
Right.
But I do. There's always, oh, is she fucking with me?
Yeah.
Is she about to get me? Because it's in the back of my mind. You know
There
what
is
I
a
mean?
quick
She's done it
second. You're like,
before.
she trying to get me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a tendency.
Gotta be quick around, Lisa. Can't fuck
Right?
around.
Yeah. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Fool me once. You know what I mean? So, but really, that is a form of emotional terrorism. You know what I mean? Like, I have definitely been way angrier, or acted way angrier than I actually was to try to
get
prove a
attention.
point,
Ooh, okay.
to try to win an argument. Right? That's emotional terrorism, right? Because I'm using an emotion that's not real to hold somebody hostage. You know, and like sometimes it's just fun to be angry. And sometimes it's fun to be angry about something you don't care about because you actually don't have any skin in the game.
Yeah.
So you're just in kind of a fake argument with somebody because you don't like them. It's not the way to go. You have to peel back and be like, wow, am I causing harm to this person by like holding them here and making them have to listen to my bullshit
Right.
every time?
Right.
Yeah. And it's fun. Sometimes
It is.
it's fun. There's nothing more
is.
fun than just sitting and complaining, going, no. I didn't get what I wanted. The mac and cheese is not good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the things are not good
waited
enough.
30 minutes for
I'm
my
not-
entree and it sucks.
Yeah, I'm not getting to drink. I wanted to drink. You guys are getting to drink tonight. I'm gonna drink.
I want a peach mango
Yeah,
salsa.
yeah. and just like sulking. Sulking is the best form of emotional terrorism you can think of.
Yeah.
Because it's awful. Like,
Yeah.
you ever seen somebody like truly sulk like an adult? Like, that is always the hardest thing to watch. I've watched my father do it.
Dude.
Silent treatment, also another form of emotional terrorism,
Yes.
right? Because you're basically holding the whole. Oh no, I'm not speaking to you. I'm not speaking to you. Once again, these are all trades of the clam.
Which is our book out now. Mike Rowe did the foreword. Trades of the Clam.
Trades of the clam, because these are
It's
all
a dirty job and somebody's got to do it.
cleaning out the clams.
Oh boy, okay.
All right. But listen. A lot of women employ a lot of these
And
techniques.
men.
Yeah, they do, and I have done it. I explained the ways I did. I admitted I was wrong. Now I want to take some shots at him.
He's hurt. It's okay. Anyways,
All right.
you did a good job, dude. You didn't hold me hostage.
No, I don't.
Can't. Anyway,
That's the kind of sigh I'm talking about, by the way.
that was a good one. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to bring on our life coach, mentor, comedian, and world-famous fake crier,
Head clam in charge.
head clam in charge, Lisa goddamn Lampanelli. Lampanelli? What an idiot. All right, we'll be right back, pal. Hello, welcome back to the Loser with a Dream podcast. We are losers. And we got some big dreams.
Big old dreams.
Big old emotional terrorism hostage dreams.
Yeah, I love this topic. First of all, I love that this turned into a how-to of emotional terrorism given by Bo.
Bo,
Hey,
yeah,
if you want to
dude.
be a great emotional terrorist, here's what you do. You fake cry. You give the silent treatment. It's mostly you broads that do it. It's like, oh, my God. Okay, great.
We have mostly female listeners. This fucking
Yeah,
guy's
he's
like,
an
let's
idiot.
ruin
It's okay.
that.
They understand that it's jokes.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
let me tell you something. This emotional terrorism I felt was a very good topic, and I'll tell you why. Because once in a while, Bo comes up with an idea that has merit. It's like George Harrison had My Sweet Lord. Okay, there was one time that it actually was valid before he was kicked permanently out of the band and had to go save Bangladesh. So, get a sitar, Ravi Shankar. Give me a fucking break with that shit. I got to sit through a double album. Anyway, but I love that you stepped into the Harrison shoes. You had the one good idea because this is a very interesting topic I never heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 60 years old. I'm 72 times your age.
What happens when you hang out with the young people?
Yeah, it's true. I'm learning a lot. And what I realized is my mother was a bit of an emotional terrorist. I was an emotional
best.
terrorist and try not to. She invented that shit. She's old school.
Black belt.
Yeah, man. I've gone from a black belt to hopefully a light brown, maybe a taupe. I've tried to take it down a notch. Because what's the alternative? So let's talk about this really quick. First of all, the problem with emotional terrorism, as I understand it, tell me if I'm wrong, is that it just basically erodes trust between people.
Right.
So basically, you're talking about if I fake cry in front of you, which I was just kind of doing an action exercise to see if I could, but it was about some definitely charged subject. Like it was not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something to joke about. And I literally was like, I want to see if I can make myself cry. So to make myself cry, I always think of a certain couple songs, which I shan't mention because I know you'll play them on a car ride and I'll have to spend the entire time thinking about Neil Diamond saying hello again. Hello.
So good.
I know, it's so fucking sad. So anyway, that eroded a little bit of trust with you because now, like you said, even when I'm having a severely emotional moment that's obviously sincere, you're like, she a little bit, she kind of like when they say when I used to really go off on hecklers, they'd be like, that was kind of planned, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, my eyes fucking jumped out of my fucking head and I stormed off stage because that was a fucking plan. So the audience or your friends or your family members I was like, I don't know, is she manipulating us?
Yeah.
And I did some reading after Mr. Harrison brought this topic to us, and I will say that this is a huge quality of chronic relapsers.
Yeah.
When you have a drug or alcohol problem, or probably any other addiction,
Yeah.
you know how to fucking manipulate. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
basically manipulation, right?
Yes.
Because if you're, say, a heroin addict, which probably Bo will be at some point again soon.
Got to move up sometimes.
You do. You were a pussy, that shit. You used to be a Special K. What a fag. Anyway, you can keep that in because it's a quote. I'm not saying fag for real. Anyway. No, but you would maybe threaten others with relapse. Well, hey, if you don't do what I say, not you, but a chronic
Right.
relapser is going to hold that over people's heads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they instill fear and they instill all this horror in you that you're like afraid and you tiptoe around them and you're always walking on eggshells, which is literally the most destructive thing in a relationship. Don't you
Yeah,
agree?
I agree. Trust is the most important thing. So when somebody can't trust your feelings, the feelings that you're showing to them are honest.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't be around that person. I don't know who I'm getting. I don't know whether it's like the real McCoy or
Yeah,
if it's
no,
some
you're right.
bullshit.
Well, also, it's that lack of accountability, too.
Yeah.
Like, in chronic relapsers or people with these kind of issues, it's like, oh, they'll just kind of blame everyone for what's going on.
Right.
So they won't be like, oh, I drank because I drank.
Right.
Or I yelled because I yelled or whatever
No
their thing is.
responsibility, yeah.
It's like, oh, he made me yell.
Yeah.
He made me drink.
Yeah.
If my wife wasn't, then this is a quote. This is not Lisa. If my wife wasn't such a fucking cunt, I wouldn't have to hit her.
That's true.
Like there are those guys or women, or if my husband wasn't so mean, I wouldn't have to suck his brother's cock. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
no.
we're getting into gaslighting too.
That was
Well,
my senior
that's
quote.
going to be a different topic
Yeah.
altogether. But your senior quote, I know.
My senior quote.
So it's like, what's sad about the whole thing is underneath, that's why I have compassion for my mother. I've learned to have some self-compassion around this stuff. You know what? The real core is a real person with goodness. The sober person has goodness. My mother was
Right.
never a drug person. She was
Rage.
food and a rage person. So they just get corrupted by this sickness that is addiction. So whether addiction is drugs, alcohol, or shopping or anything else, it's that they are kind of being held hostage by it and then holding us hostage to themselves.
Yes. Yep.
You know? So I want to know the difference. Okay. So I made you cry. I mean, I fake cried at the diner just for fun.
That was fun.
But I think there was a diner incident where Bo held us hostage.
Probably.
And that was when we went to one of the diners that he doesn't like as much.
I know. I have
And
specific
all
needs.
he did, Nick, was for literally a half hour complain about the amount of cheese in this quesadilla.
Well, that was a real problem.
It was not okay. Real
it
problem
was
is
too much
starvation,
It was
hunger,
too much cheese.
poverty.
It wasn't
Too
even
much
good.
cheese is never a problem. You could have
it was a
scooped some
cheese
out.
attack.
You are a sloppy eater like him. It is a problem.
I get it was a problem for us because we have to look at it. You think he's
just
ever
on his
troubled
fingers,
by what's
I-
on his face?
What's going on?
Bo's the
I
type.
was
First of
very
all,
upset.
wait, Bo, let me finish.
This was a hard time in my life.
Yeah, no, but you basically don't even feel when food is on your face, and that's emotionally
Or
being
fingers, or
taking
shirt.
us hostage to make us look at that fucking greasy fucking mug of yours. It's disgusting. But anyway, back to the quesadilla. Was this now when this quesadilla came, you had two choices. You could say, "Excuse me,
yourself.
waitress," who's also a recovering addict, because for some reason this fucking diner only has head cases who used to be on drugs in their employ. Must have a very sympathetic manager or owner. You said, "Oh gosh, this is a little too heavy for me right now. The cheese is a bit heavy-handed. Would you please
Heavy-handed.
may I have something else?"
Yeah.
But instead, You sat abruptly in that large way. You were heavier back then, and you were like, harumph. You literally,
Yeah.
your whole attitude was harumph. Would that be considered emotional hostage taking?
Yes, because I didn't get what I want.
Okay,
Tid.
so you have to be a baby in a diaper.
Yes, I was a baby diaper. And, well, because I was excited about a good quesadilla. You get excited. That's the thing you get up for in
that's
the
true.
morning.
That's true.
And then you get there, and you had a day, and your life is terrible, and then all you want is just the right ratio of cheese and dia. And you get screwed.
Is Dia a thing? Okay, I'm sure our Latinx listeners will let us know if that's true. But so basically, you're looking forward to this thing. It doesn't go your way. Wah, 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 shit in the pants, and
Right.
make Lisa and Nick deal with your pouty face about the cheese.
Yes.
So, I don't blame you, though. It is a very disappointing thing, but then it's so hard to be vulnerable enough to want a different thing and to be like, wow, I'm just really... Because with us, you could do this now. I think back then, it was a few months ago, I didn't think you feel like you could have been safe back then going, I'm really kind of sad. I was looking forward to this.
Yeah.
No, because, I mean, hey, we get food stuff.
Yeah.
If I go to a fucking restaurant and I was looking forward to the one thing and then it's disappointing, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So this was emotional terrorism. Yeah, here's another example. And this is Nick this time. Tell me, no. Tell me how feeling your feelings differs from emotional terrorism. Example. Nick, you and I drive into the city, and Nick is going to do a spot at Gotham to get a tape.
Oh, I recall.
Yes. The taping does
Crushed
not go crushed. Yes, that's one word for it.
Crushed my hopes.
Yes, you didn't do it as well as you would have liked, which I didn't think you did badly. You basically were really upset, but turned it inward and sat in the back, quote unquote, pouting. But how did that not tip over into affecting us? Would you say he wasn't an emotional terrorist, or he was at that point?
I don't think he was, because I think it's okay to be sad about something. I think if he kept going, guys, what could I have done differently? And he kept bringing it up.
See,
and,
I wouldn't know.
making us-
I disagree. I wouldn't have minded the questions. I
Well,
think
but
the
if it got-
sighing would have been bad,
Okay.
or him going, or going like this, guys, I'm just quit. Oh shit.
Guys, should I just quit?
fuck.
What about guys? Should I just quit?
Yeah,
I hate
because
myself.
that's a manipulation, like the
Yeah.
chronic
me I'm
relapser.
good. Tell
Yeah,
me
I'm
yes.
good.
Tell me it's all going to be okay. There's one thing to ask for reassurance once and go, guys, honestly, I feel like I want to quit right now, and I'm actually speaking from the heart.
Yeah.
I just need you to hear that. I'm kind of scared about it. Is different and non-manipulative, right?
Right.
But if it's asked more than twice, you got to go see a fucking shrink. You emotional raconteur. You emotional terrorist. You're holding us
ISIS.
on. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't tip over into that because he was just kind of owning his feelings.
Right. Yeah, and he understands he's not that great.
You're a dick. So, but I think that's a good thing. Stop grabbing each other's wee-wees. I think people have to understand the difference between we're not saying you're not allowed to have your feelings and be in a mood,
Yeah.
but don't make, and I love that expression, don't make your problem my problem.
Yep.
You said it.
Yep.
I always say it. I've kicked people out of my house when they've gotten drunk because I was like, don't make your problem my problem. I
Right.
fucking hate that shit. And I'm like, oh, I've clearly done that too, which is why I can recognize it, which I think
Right.
is good that you and I both kind of recognize we've done that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly the showing up somewhere,
Yeah.
and they're trying to just have a nice time, and then you're like, oh, I drink too much,
Right.
guys, I'm not okay. You know what I mean? Just being a mess. And really ruining somebody's day or somebody's party or whatever.
Oh,
How many
God.
parties have I ruined? I mean, it's countless.
Break up my
still
fucking
ruined.
party, right, Nick? Don't break
worst.
up my fucking
Break up
party.
my fuck. I did 6 years. I'm home. I gotta earn.
If
I got
anyone
kids.
can guess what that's from, what exact scene it's from, you get a
What
free
movie?
Patreon if we ever do a Patreon.
We are.
We keep threatening
Yeah.
to, but we haven't
It's
yet.
gonna happen.
Anyway, no, we will.
January.
But you're right. It's just going. I'm going to filthify this entire gathering with my stuff. Right. And I think I did that. And when I went on a trip that I didn't like, and I have a lot of issues with being too cold all the time. And I'm always have to eat weird because there have to be small amounts. So it has to be like 6 to 8 times a day. And it's a million Quest bars. And I have to pack a whole suitcase of this goddamn fucking snacks and string cheese and all this other fucking shit. So my body temperature is so, I feel held hostage by fucking always being freezing.
Yeah.
So when I was invited to go to Iceland with my sister-in-law and my niece and their friend, I literally held the entire trip hostage. And I was like the angry dad who did the driving. I insisted on driving everywhere, which they were fine with because they're not emotional fucking terrorists. I am, but I'm sitting there stewing. It's like when Dad used to drive. I imagine my father wasn't like this, but would have the cigarette and just smoking and drinking coffee. And I go, my whole role this fucking trip because I'm freezing and I have to eat little amounts and everybody else gets to eat normally. Fuck you. I'm going to try to find a station on the radio in Iceland. Good luck. I'm going to fucking smoke. I don't even smoke. And I'm going to have coffee. I had coffee, though. I didn't smoke, but I imagined I was that guy. But it was pouty and really shitty. And of course, guess what ends up happening? I explode. I have a huge anger attack on an annoying person, but it definitely shifted probably forever my relationship with those people, and it's a huge tragedy. So I had to do so much work on that I go, oh my God, I can't ever let myself get in that position again to hold a car or a house hostage. Yeah. Even if it's my house or my car. Like, even if it's, suppose Christmas comes or next year Thanksgiving and I'm in a mood. It's better to cancel the fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Than to have not my head in the game of making this about someone other than myself. Do you agree?
I agree, yeah. If you're in the mood where, especially if you're entertaining.
Yeah.
It's like, that can easily turn into like, just, if I was really sad one day and I was, crying, let's say I, had a really bad breakup or something.
Right.
And then I invited a bunch of friends over.
To cheer you up.
It would be rude.
Right.
Right? Because it's like, they're showing up, unless they know they're coming over to help me. That's different.
Right.
But if they think they're coming over to like watch a game and then I'm crying in the corner. You know what I mean?
And
like,
not because the Jets suck.
Yeah. Like, that's a terrible thing to do.
It really is. So, in other words, telling people in advance, hey, I'm going through something. So, in other words, if I had gone on this trip to Iceland and I'd have been honest, and again, it all comes from fear of intimacy.
Right.
Oh, I can't tell my family I struggle with feeling cold all the time and we're going to fucking Iceland. There's ice in the name. And by the way, it's the worst place on earth. Just because it's cheap to get there doesn't mean it's good. Yeah. It's not really fun. Every fucking goddamned waterfall looks like the other one, but we gotta go to 100 of them. I don't get it. I still don't get it. I should have just turned that down. My whole idea, Mr.
Hot
Harrison,
Springs?
was to go to India, because I thought it would be great. Shut up. I thought it would be great to go and see the sights and the spirituality and all that
get
stuff.
Diarrhea.
No, I wouldn't drink the water. I just thought it was really cool because I like it really hot.
Charm some snakes.
Shut up. Don't be racist. So I thought, I know you meant that sexually. That's gross. So, no, but I freaking want to do that. And then instead of listening to my higher good inside of my what I really wanted, they're like, well, that's too hot in the summer. How about Iceland? I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
So again, my lack of wanting to be truly intimate and exposing who I was made me then have it come out sideways to snap on people and then make enemies. I mean, this is very hard to come back from.
Emotional terrorism is brutal because it really, like, the friendship can never be the same.
Yeah.
So you have to be super careful, and then I think it is up to a good friend, though, to let you know.
The way you did it with your buddy at that top secret meeting.
That was super helpful.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated him for that. And I told him, so it's like when we're doing that, we don't always know it. And that's what's scary. Like, I would love to be evolved enough to just be able to go, oh, there you are. You're being a baby. Don't be a baby.
Right.
Don't manipulate. But sometimes it happens. And like, it's tough to listen. I think just think about the size, the amount of times you sigh, the amount of times you
roll your eyes.
How much, like, really, my mother would always take me on trips I didn't want to go on when I was a kid, and that would be my protest.
Yes.
To just be a pain in the ass. I don't want to go to the store. You lazy clam.
Oh my
Don't
God.
bring me there.
We're furniture
You're
shopping.
overusing
You know what my
clam.
parents used to make us do? There's 3 of us. So if they were looking at couches, they'd make us each sit on a couch so nobody else bought
Yeah.
it till they decided which one to get. And I'm like,
Right.
my brother has always hated furniture shopping because of that. My brother literally, this
I
was
hate
so
errands 'cause
funny,
of my
like
dad.
as a little kid, because he was the
Yeah.
youngest. He'd be like 5, and they'd make us sit on the couch. Every Saturday we'd have to sit at Reed's, which was a
Yeah.
fucking department store. We'd sit on these couches, and my brother eventually, because he was little, he would go, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm tired, I'm hungry. But he was so cute and little, they wouldn't get
Yeah.
mad at him. They get mad at me and my fucking sister. I'm like, what'd I do? But it's like he just chanted. He was like George Harrison too. He chanted and occasionally had a good idea. No, but it's so weird because we find it hard to call ourselves on it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You wouldn't have noticed you were sighing
No.
until way later. So
No.
I didn't notice my bad behavior in Iceland. I just thought I was being myself.
Yeah. It's important to realize when you got a little poopy in the diaper.
Oh my God, it is.
Let me check your diaper.
Oh God. Speaking of which, I love that you pointed out that even humor can be a terrorist attack. Because, okay, first of all, I love that Nick's gym hires a gay trainer and they warn him about being too inclusive. It's like, don't include that guy in your jokes, you know?
Yeah.
But the fact that you sometimes do hold people hostage because it derails it. It derails the conversation. And sometimes I go to you at the diner or whatever when we're playing, I'm like, yeah, wait. Because it's like, oh, we might be onto something. Because 99% of the time, your humor is really good and really appropriate. And then it gets like where, oh my God, we're bouncing off the wall. What are we even
Right.
thinking? What's this episode going to be about?
Right.
So I think it's cool to recognize that it's not just sighing, crying, being a big yenta and rolling your eyes. It
love
also
that
can
word.
be derailment by good quote unquote humor.
Right.
Yeah, or even like somebody who's overly optimistic. We've talked about how
Hate it.
it's
Positive
annoying.
vibes up, you cunt.
Yeah.
I don't like this positive vibes only because we have to have room for all feelings. Am I right, Bo?
And I will give you an example of this.
Please
This
do.
wasn't really good vibes. This was more like, oops, I didn't know you were this person. So
Oh, is this about me?
No. It was a friend of
Okay.
mine. We went to go see a couple concerts up in Saratoga, right? We went to go see a band, right?
Are you hip?
And-
Like one of your hippie bands?
Yeah, we went to go see Fish. So it's
Oh,
one of those
God.
bands. And
Spelled Fish. He went to the aquarium. Go ahead.
so we're on the way up. He's a super nice kid. We don't know each other that well, so it's just a fun trip.
Hand job.
I had an extra ticket. Let's go.
You're like, you want to
And-
rest your head, buddy?
See, now we're being emotional terrorists. I'm sorry, we won't interrupt.
Second night, or second day, we're hanging out, and he starts talking about the Lord.
Oh!
Yep. Turns out he was in the process of becoming a reborn, and now all of a sudden, the rest of the trip turns into him like talking about the Bible. I notice it. He pulls out the Bible out of his backpack.
Oh, did you kick him
Yep.
out?
I didn't because
Did you take a
what can you
crucifix
do?
and stab him?
No. I was just like, well, I let him know. I go, dude, that's great that you're doing that. I'm sure that's helping you with your sobriety and helping you with all this other stuff. I gotta let you know, I'm not interested. You know
That's
what I mean?
good.
And then, but
Uh-oh.
it just kept coming around to it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, hell, hey man, I'm into this, and I don't know, it's weird, but this is what I'm into.
Right.
Maybe you want to take a look. It was, hey, this is what I'm into, and now I'm going to be forcing it into the conversation every 5 to 10 minutes. And that was tough.
Holy shit, you have my deep sympathy.
Yeah.
Because
And he-
I'm telling you what,
Yeah.
I have a friend, an ancillary friend, so more of an acquaintance, who is big into Pentecostalism,
Yeah.
which basically means part of, and I'm sure he's this way, part of their obligation is to recruit.
Yeah.
So I get it, that they're just trying to do what they're supposed to
thing,
do,
yeah.
and that's okay. But her posts on Instagram, Jesus Christ in heaven, it's always like, here I was before Jesus. And it's like a fat picture. Look what Jesus did for me. And now she's like fucking anorexic. But look, I mean, admittedly, anorexics look hotter than fat chicks. Sorry to
guess
fat
so.
shame, but that's just life.
guess
Trigger
so. I like
warning,
a little
fatties.
meat on the bone.
Anyway, But then I don't mind that she says this is what Jesus did for me. But then I read the post and the bottom line said, he can do this for you too.
Yeah.
So the recruitment. So I said, I'm lucky because I get to mute. I would never unfollow it. It hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
But when you're in a car with somebody, you can't mute them.
No.
I mean, I probably could. I'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, I wouldn't allow it. If you and me and him are driving to a gig, and even if it's a subject that just makes me uncomfortable, I'm like, dude, shut up. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
I don't want to hear about it.
This story just popped in my head. Do you mind if I
Oh,
share
no,
this
I
quick?
love it.
Because the Bible thing and then that.
Oh.
When I was at the University of Missouri, I was doing my internship after college. and
Okay,
there's-
wait. I want to go back.
Yeah.
I never knew you went to.
Yeah, we talked about it because your brother went there, right?
Did I not listen?
Yeah.
No, you
No,
wouldn't.
you
That
said
is
you were
my
like your
form
brother
of
went there,
emotional
right?
attack. Yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
impressed that you went to a real school. Go
Well,
ahead.
I mean, I was there. I was the intern with the strength and conditioning program for the football team all summer. So I was
Look at
training
him
the athletes.
sucking dick of a quarterback.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
I wish. But anyway, I went out, and there was a bunch of interns from all over. There were 10 of us from all over the United States. There's this one kid, my roommate from North Carolina, literally talked like this, like literally had that accent, right? One night we're out at a bar. This is long story short. This woman tried to have sex with me in the bar,
Who
in the
didn't?
bathroom. And I stopped
bragging.
myself, and I was like, "No, just come back to my place." He stopped. He was like, "No, we can't." And I was like, "Why? Why won't you let this girl?" And he was like being kind of a dick about it. And so were the other interns. And I was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah.
Get back to the house, pulls out the Bible.
Oh!
Starts talking to me at 3 a.m. and he's like, dude, have you ever thought? I was like, I should be having sex with this woman right now, and you're ruining it.
Well,
I don't care.
That was bad. Well, we got to do a whole episode on cock blocking because I remember doing the improv in Baltimore with Kevin James's brother Gary Valentine and telling a girl he brought up to the comedy condo that he had a fiance because I was like, if I'm not getting any dick, he's not getting any But we're still friends. We're still friends. It doesn't matter.
Forgive you about that?
What's
Did
that?
you ever say sorry to that?
No. What, I make an amends that he didn't get an STD from some clam? No. I saved him.
Yeah.
Like baby Jesus will save all of you. Oh my God. I love this. I am not too proud. I ain't too proud to beg. No, I'm not too proud to say that I have learned something from Bo. I usually do anyway, but I actually learned a whole new terminology that I can now weaponize and use against others. Now, quick question, last question, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Suppose we're in a car going to a gig or doing something, and I force you to listen to like show tunes or something you hate. Is that emotional terrorism? Yes or no, Bo?
It's just
Well, I don't think
annoying.
it's emotional.
It's just terrorism. So if I
sucks.
make you hear Gypsy and
just
sing
sucks,
it.
dude. It just sucks.
But if you and I, if me and Nick
just
start
sucks.
singing Lucky by Britney Spears,
That's
is that
I love that song.
oh, you don't
doesn't.
like
I
it,
don't
Nick.
like Lucky.
Okay, so let me tell you about a girl named Lucky.
Dun,
Okay.
dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. I do have a thing about music, though.
Yeah.
I am so emotional about most songs that I only allow songs I authorize in my car.
That's true. I've noticed that.
Yeah, I'm like, no,
we
I can't
have
listen to
noticed
that. I have a memory come back. Like, I'll put on swing music. I'll put on fucking disco because, I wasn't like present
Yeah.
at Studio 54. But if I have to hear Desperado by the Eagles, some shit's going down. You love my singing. I gotta do an album. It's like Ethel Merman sings.
You should do a Christmas album.
I should.
Merry Christmas, you cunt.
How about this? Everything's coming up clammy. Da, 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 doo, doo. Oh my God, you guys, this was great. Again, seriously, Bo, I'm being vulnerable when I say thank you for teaching us something. Nick, thank you for nothing.
Yep.
Keep your hand in there.
Guys,
I love
us.
us. See you next week. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening to Losers with a Dream. We'll see you next week when you got more time to kill. Fucking hate these guys.